Good evening, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to continue the study of the book International Logistics. My name is Felipe. I'd like to invite you to subscribe in this channel. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. Don't forget, support this video with donations. Start the notifications. Share this video with your friends and community. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you very much. Let us start. If you please, add a commentary. Border delays are now nearly non-existent as shipments are no longer expected, and paperwork no longer proceeds of national frontiers. In early 1993, a Milan-based trucker who specialized in carrying race horses said that 12 hours had been shaved out of time it took to ship a breeding mare from Italy to Ireland and back, saving $700 on the round trip. A dozen export-import farms were eliminated, and veterinary checks now take place only at the destination. Not all transportation barriers are being removed. Neighboring nations still enforce their own regulations regarding truck dimensions and hours of operations. Environmentalists prefer that trucking through Europe be discouraged so that freight traffic will be shifted to rail and water, which are less damaging to the environment. Other changes mandated by AC 92 will be implemented more slowly. Changing the technical standards for telecommunications must be considered carefully, and downward compatibility with existing communication infrastructure is an important problem. The gradual upgrade of the EC's telecommunications network will make this transition easier as time goes on. Changes in accounting practices have caused some disruption in the way business information is reported, as many firms take on time charges to earn during the changeover. The substantial reduction in regulation also has freed competitive force within the EC. Roadway haulage has been deregulated, opening up formerly protected national markets to competition from other EC nations and competition from companies outside the EC nations. The EC has mandated the development of high-speed rail for both passenger and freight by the year 2015, which will change the balance of freight moved by air, rail, and highway. Air cargo has also been deregulated, and freight rates across modes are expected to fall. As a result, increased use of multimodal transportation will also be likely. It is also probable that logistics management will become increasingly important in the post-1992 EC, as managers now have the opportunity to manipulate logistical variables in ways heretofore impossible. The strategic implication of a unified market should be apparent to the American logistics manager. The 12-member nation will operate in a fashion similar to the 50 American states. Procedures, law, and technology will largely be standardized, and logistic practices become uniform as the integration is completed. These changes will make it possible to site manufacturing facilities, distribution networks, and transportation systems according to the market needs rather than according to national boundaries. Logistics managers operating within the EC respect massive logistics systems redesigned to conform with the needs of the large unified market. Businesses are freed to treat the marketplace as whole, and without international political consideration, logistics system costs will decline and throughput efficiency will improve. For example, Mondavio wineries used to print 13 different labels of wine that exported to the EC area. Under European Community rules, a winemaker can sell products throughout the continent with a single label, as long as the wine is distributed from one location within the EC. So Mondavio began acting as its own importer, using Rotterdam as a central distribution point. The only requirement is that the wine pass through Rotterdam first. NAFTA. The US-Canada Free Trade Agreement was negotiated between the United States and Canada during the 1980s and took effect January 1, 1989. The FTA sought to bring about many of the benefits to EC92 without the complete economic integration of the two nations. Simply, the United States and Canada desired to create a common market where tariffs and other trade barriers would be substantially reduced or eliminated to permit the free flow of goods and services across the border. The United States and Canada have long enjoyed special trade relations. Trade across the world's longest undefeated border. Each nation has long been the other largest trading partner. Many firms of Canada and American ownership operate on both sides of the border. Daily shipment of materials, work on processed and finished goods to markets in both the United States and Canada. The friendly nature of the relations between the two countries and the long story of close business ties facilitate negotiation of the treaty. The implementation of the FTA has been facilitated by the two nations sharing many technical standards, similar levels of logistic infrastructure development, and similarity in markets. Although the FTA has simplified the movement of goods across the border between markets, it has not achieved the type of full economic integration of EC92 labor, for example, remains to promise of each respective nation. It does not move freely across borders. Limitations remain on cross-border capital investment as well. The FTA focuses on facilitating exchange of goods. In that sense, the change for logistic managers have perhaps been more dramatic than for consumers. It is now possible to site distribution facilities and measure plants closer to markets and without regard to national boundaries. The resultant efficiency improves both profits and service to different markets, as Canada continues to offer to deregulated transportation service. Competition for the free American service provides expected to cause additional drops in freight. Since 1999, cross-border searching and freight movement have increased substantially. Overtures were extended to Mexico to join the Free Trade Agreement to create the North American Trade Agreement. This would create the world's largest free trade market upon implementation. The barriers to the inclusion of Mexico were more daunting than facing creation of US-Canada Free Trade Zone. Business practice according to standard, transportation system, design manufacturing standard, and communication standards differ dramatically between Mexico and northern two nations. The level of economic development is also very different.